Alright, welcome back to the second video. I'm a little bit more prepared today than I was on the previous video. So thank you very much to everybody who messaged me, who's subscribed to my channel on YouTube. I tried putting the movie on Facebook, but unfortunately something went wrong. And now, there we go. So I tried putting the video on Facebook, but unfortunately something went wrong. So I think I'm just going to be uploading it to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to try to keep everything pretty short. The last movie was a little long, so I want to try and keep it down. So today what I'm going to do is the cheddar cheese biscuits. So, and I'd like to give a thanks to Canadian Living magazine, Canadian Living online for this recipe. I've used it quite a few times. I do a lot of my recipes from online. I have a few of my own, but not very many. Cheddar cheese biscuits are so easy to do. They're not a yeast dough, or you can make them as a yeast dough. So today what I'm going to do is we're going to do the cheddar cheese biscuits, and this, I have everything here set up ready to go. So right here I've got 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. So I'm just going to put that into my mixer. I'm going to mix everything by hand instead of just using the bowl or using the mixer itself. And then what I have in here, you can see that somewhat. Okay, so what I have in here are 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of parsley, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder, sorry. So I'm going to put that into here as well. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blend it up. I have my knife here, so I'm just going to kind of give it a quick mix. It smells really good actually with the garlic powder. Okay, so I have that all mixed up now. What I have here, and I actually have a second knife here with me, I have 1/4 of a cup of cubed butter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the butter into the flour and our mixtures. Okay. It's nice having the sink right near me. And then what I'm going to do here is we're just going to kind of blend the butter in with the flour. I guess I should really be putting it over here. And we're cutting the butter into the flour. You want to do this so that it resembles coarse crumbs. Okay. So we're going to do this. So this might take a while, but that's okay. Also make sure that your butter is cold. It will kind of helps with the flakiness that way. Okay, so I'm going to continue mixing this and I'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back. So what I've done is I've mixed up the flour and all the spices, all the different flavorings. So I got like the parsley, the salt, the garlic powder, everything is in there right now. And what I've done is I've made it look like coarse crumbs. So that's all together like that right there. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I have 1 cup plus cheddar cheese. I like cheese. Recipe calls for 1 cup. I don't mind if they're extra cheesy, and I'm sure other people wouldn't either. There's some people that actually like cheese, there's some that don't. If you don't, you're wrong, sorry. Okay, so I've got 1 cup of cheddar cheese in there. I've also got 1 cup of whole milk, or 2% milk here, so I'm going to mix that in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much blend this all together. I could have used my dough hook, like my dough attachment, but I don't mind doing it by hand. So I have this all mixed up here now. It smells really good, actually. This would be good if you're doing it. This is kind of similar to the Red Lobster biscuits, I guess. I don't mind those either, but okay, so what I've got here, I'm bringing the phone over here. Okay, so now this is all blended together, and what I'm going to do, I just want to make sure everything is mixed in. So see, you can see down there at the bottom a little bit, there's some of the flour still. So I just want to make sure that everything is blended here. So yeah, so you can see at the bottom there's still some flour. I just want to make sure that everything is blended. All right, so it looks all blended to me. Okay, we're gonna put you back up here. I'm gonna make sure tripod. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna place on it calls for a grease baking sheet, but I prefer to use less grease as possible. I know when it comes to biscuits, you want like the grease, it makes it really tasty. But what I'm going to do is I have parchment paper. I'm going to line 2 sheets with parchment paper. I'm going to maybe 2 scoops of the biscuit mix onto the parchment paper, put it in the oven. It'll go in for about 13 to 15 minutes. Recipe says 425. I try to take 50 degrees off that because I don't want to burn it, because my oven has a tendency of burning things. So what I'm going to do is I have it set to 375 right now. So it's going to bake for 13 to 15 minutes. I'm going to bake it for that 15 minutes, but I'm going to keep an eye on them. So just make sure they're lightly browned, and I will see you guys back in 15 minutes. Hey guys, so what I'm doing, I know in the previous video I said I was just going to use 2 spoonfuls, but what I remember that I had was a medium-sized muffin scoop. So all I'm doing is I'm just filling it up there, putting it on the parchment paper right here, doing about 6 to a sheet. So right now I'm going to have 12. For those of you questioning my music in the background, most of you guys know I'm a huge advocate for drum corps. I love drum corps. I did it for 13 years. This is the Blue Coats out of Canton, Ohio, 2014 show Tilt, one of my absolute favorite Blue Coat shows. The music is amazingly written. I actually know a lot of the staff and former staff. Brass arranger, Doug Thrower. Awesome job, buddy. He was actually just inducted into the Drum Corps International Hall of Fame this past season. So congratulations to Doug on that. I really wish I could have been there, but unfortunately, the day of the ceremony was also my birthday, and my buddy from California who's teaching a drum corps in California actually surprised me with dinner, which I'm very grateful for because I've made a lot of friends in this activity. So it was really nice of him to take me out for my birthday. Either that or I would have just stayed in the hotel, or I would have gone to the Hall of Fame induction gala. Alright, so I've got 12 biscuits right here ready to go into the oven. So as I said, they're going to go in for about 13 to 15 minutes. I have the oven set at 375. I'm going to just keep an eye on them so that they're 13 to 15 minutes are lightly brown. So I'm going to put these in the oven, and I'll see you guys back here in 15 minutes. All right, so it's been about 15, 16 minutes. I had to put them in for just a little bit longer. So I'm gonna take them out now. They look fantastic. I did spray the bottom of the cookie sheet with a little bit of canola oil. I sprayed the tops as well. So we'll get you to look over here. So you can see they're slightly puffy, but they're still crisp on the top. And honestly, right now the kitchen smells phenomenal. So I'm gonna let these cool. I'm gonna give it a try just to see what they look like and what they taste like, obviously. But I just want to say thank you very much for everybody watching. I'm gonna try and upload this Wednesday. I've done it today, so it gives me a couple days just to think of some stuff that I can cook that I have here on stock in the house. But I look forward to the next video. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.